guys, I hope all is well. I hope you had a fantastic week so far. Now in today's video, we're going to be covering how to 6x your earnings from OnlyFans in 1 week. So yeah, it's a ton of value for you guys out there who are currently making money from OnlyFans, because I'm going to be helping you make a lot more of it. And this is a really powerful video, so make sure you stay until the end. Now, in case you don't know me, my name is Ethan Bayless. I'm the founder of Altrisk, which is an agency where we help OnlyFans creators earn more while working less with custom growth and management strategies. Now, if you're interested in earning more while working less, then click the link below and you'll be able to book in a call with myself, and we'll be able to talk about your OnlyFans strategy. Now, let's get into the actual value of this video. Now, this is pay-per-view content is king. The whole video is basically focusing around pay-per-view content, because pay-per-view content is going to be the biggest lever when it comes to earning more from OnlyFans. So if you're looking to make a major shift in your income from OnlyFans, then you need to make a major change when it comes to how many pay-per-view messages you're sending out on a daily basis, because most creators aren't doing enough. So pay-per-view content should be your #1 revenue stream from OnlyFans, as it's the most lucrative channel. Now, if it isn't, you're either doing it wrong or you're either not doing it enough. So it's one of those two. Now, in this video, we're going to cover how often you should be sending out pay-per-view content, as well as how to actually go about doing it properly, because I see a lot of creators coming to me asking for help with actually sending pay-per-view content and how to actually go about doing it. And yeah, lots of you guys are sending it wrong. So hopefully this video can get you guys on the right path. All right, so let's get into it. So how to do pay-per-view content correctly. So your ultimate goal when nurturing a community on OnlyFans should be to drive your subscribers towards your DMs. Now, getting subscribers to be active in your DMs is the crucial first step when it comes to generating lots of money from selling pay-per-view content. Because essentially, if they're not seeing your pay-per-view content that you're actually sending them, then how are they going to buy it? So I see lots of people just sending out mass messages to a bunch of inactive subscribers, and they're wondering why they're not generating any sales from pay-per-view content. And it's because your subscribers aren't in your DMs every day. They're not seeing what you're actually messaging them. So the first step is to make sure that they're actually active in your inbox. Now, the best method to actually drive subscribers to your inbox is through what we call a call to action post. Now, a call to action post is simply an image with text that directs your subscribers to send a message. Now, of course, that's a pretty bare bone version of a call to action post, and you can get a lot more creative with it. But essentially, you want to make sure that you're directly asking or prompting them to send you a DM in exchange for value, because essentially you need to give them a reason to be in your actual inbox. And whether you're nurturing a relationship with them in the inbox, that's also a good way to keep them in your inbox, or you're posting content saying, hit me up in my inbox for a fun little video. You're actually going to be getting them to that inbox. Now, once you have lots of subscribers in your DMs asking for content, this is when you are best to hook them in. Now, my personal trick when it comes to this, and the trick we use in my agency, is what we call a value ladder in the industry. Now, to use the value ladder strategy, you need to simply start off by sending out between $5 to $10 pay-per-view content that isn't too revealing, and then slowly work your way up to the higher priced $30 to $50 to $100 content. Now, by structuring your sales this way, you'll get people to actually buy in, almost invest in yourself. Now, once they're bought in, it will get increasingly easier to sell them on the higher price content. Now, essentially that's a really powerful trick, because once they've kind of bought into you, they're thinking, I've already given this person a bit of money. What's an extra $10? And then before you know it, what's an extra $25? What's an extra $50? And you're just slowly building up the amount of money that they're investing in yourself. So that's a really good trick to make money from pay-per-view content. Now, another psychological trick that we use to increase your pay-per-view content sales is to add urgency and scarcity when sending out content. Now, scarcity and urgency are both incredibly powerful buying triggers, as it creates fear of missing out. Now, fear of missing out is a human emotion that everyone suffers from. It's when your friends are out having fun, or you're at some sort of festival and you want to be there, That's the fear of missing out in action, and it's what causes you to essentially go there in the end and do that thing that you're missing out on. Now, the simplest way to create fear of missing out is to send an occasional message to your subscribers, letting them know that your content will be deleted in 24 hours and they're never ever going to be able to see it again. Now, if you notice here, by us saying that it's going to be deleted in 24 hours, we're adding actually urgency to the pay-per-view content, because they know they need to get it as soon as possible, otherwise, it's going to be deleted. And then by saying they'll never ever get to see it again, you're essentially creating that scarcity, which means that it's not like they're going to get the opportunity to do this again. So you got this urgency plus scarcity, which is going to create that fear of missing out, and that's going to cause them to buy it. And I see lots of people kind of skipping on this step, and it's an essential step if you want to be making a lot of money when it comes to pay-per-view content. Now, of course, when we say that they're never going to be able to see this content again, that isn't true, because otherwise it'll just be a waste of content. As we will end up sending it out again under a different caption, but they won't know, as they can only see the preview unless they buy the content. So when you're sending out these pay-per-view messages, they see a blurred image with the caption. So you can send out the same piece of content later on down the line with a different caption, and they won't really know the difference they won't really know that it's the same piece of content unless they bought it. So you can just keep on mixing up the captions. All right. So if you do end up doing this, which I highly recommend you do, you want to make sure to keep on top of deleting content every 24 hours. And you can do this by setting a reminder on your phone. Now, there's no built-in feature to be able to do this as of yet. And you don't need to be, stupidly accurate with it. You don't need to be 24 hours on the dot deleting it. But just as long as next time you send them a pay-per-view message or something, you're deleting it, just make sure that they know that your content is scarce and it is urgent. All right. So let's get into the question of how often should you send out pay-per-view content. So personally, I recommend sending out pay-per-view messages at least 3 to 5 times a day. Now, this may sound like a lot, but it really isn't when you end up recycling this content. So you can kind of send out the same pieces of content repeatedly with different captions. So if they don't buy the content, you can always just use different captions, and they're not going to know it's different content essentially. So you don't need to be making tons and tons of content to keep up with the pay-per-view messages. But of course, the more content you make, the more pay-per-view messages and content, exciting stuff you got to sell. All right. So when sending out this many pay-per-view messages all day, eventually it's going to become hard to keep track of who's bought what, especially if you're recycling this content, which I highly recommend doing. So this is why you'll need to create a spreadsheet to keep track of who's bought what content. Now, if you're interested, let me know in the comments. I can also drop the sheet that we use at my agency to keep track of all this. But essentially, it just allows you to see which subscribers bought what, so you can just keep on recycling content to the subscribers, and you're recycling content they haven't bought. Otherwise, if you can't sell them the same content again. Otherwise, it's going to be asking for refunds and it'll get messy. All right. So most girls on OnlyFans only send out 10 pay-per-view content a month, and that's been quite lean there. Lots of girls are sending out less than 10 pay-per-view content a month. So by sending out pay-per-view content 6 times more than these other creators, you'll notice that your earnings are going to end up being 6 times more than theirs, because the biggest lever when it comes to your OnlyFans earnings is pay-per-view content. And simply by increasing the amount that you're sending out, as well as actually the strategy behind it, you're going to see an instant uplift in your OnlyFans actual earnings. So that concludes this video. So I hope this video was value to you guys. If it was, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button, and comment what other types of videos you want to see or what other questions you want addressed. Now, if you're interested in joining an OnlyFans community where you'll get a free cheat sheet, make sure you click the link in the description below and you'll be able to join my Facebook group. And if you're interested in my agency services, make sure you book in a call, and it'll be great to speak to you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.